Guys, welcome to another SaaS landing page teardown. Today we have Latana, which is a common example of what AI product landing pages look like. So what happens is a lot of these SaaS companies that have AI products, they focused way too much on the technology rather than the result that the technology delivers, right? So they talk about AI powered brand tracking, and to a person that is head of marketing or head of brand or something like that, they look at this and they say, if it's AI powered, it probably works even worse because it might generate a lot of like weird results, right? Maybe half of the people assume that, and half of the people assume it might be good, right? So you're relying on the expectation that people have about AI to talk about your product, right? And the problem about that is that, okay, so the tool has artificial intelligence. It probably can find a lot more fields that I can find myself, but which fields can you find? How many more insights can I get, right? Because people, when they're buying these sort of tools, they're not buying because of the analytics. They're not buying about the tracking or all these fancy graphs that they have. They're buying it because they want the insights. They don't want the graphs. They want the reports. They want the insights, right? And what happens is they work with all these amazing companies. I'm sure they provide amazing insights around who's using it, what age they are, which country they're in, how much they actually use the app or search for the brand or whatever it might be. I'm actually not even sure exactly what they're able to track, right? So they might be attracting these huge companies that have a lot of concerns around security, concerns around segmentation, concerns about regardless of how many insights you can get, how can I use this with other tools that I have, or create reports so I can share with different departments in my team. So what's going to happen is they might have thousands or hundreds of people or dozens of potential big customers, enterprise level customers, looking at their website every month, and they wonder exactly the questions that I mentioned before. How does this what kind of insights can I get from this? How can I use this with my team? Do you handle all the reports? Does this tool is able to create reports? How did I use this data afterwards? Like, can I add it to the different tools that I'm using? What about segmentation? What about, for example, how I can make use of this data by itself, so on and so forth, right? So what this page needs to be instead, and this is the problem with every AI landing page, is it only needs to talk about what does the AI can do. In this particular case, what are the insights that I can track? Nothing about the AI, because the only people that should care about the AI is the engineers creating it, because no one cares about how it works as long as it delivers the result that they want, right? That's the engineer problem, to figure out how that works. That's not the customer's problem, right? So what they want to hear is, okay, what can I track? For example, what are some of the things that I can track about my brands, and who's using it, and who's searching for it, and who's the audience, and which country, when did they first hear about us? Like, literally listing out all the things that they can track, like have case studies with every single one of these companies. For example, maybe Duolingo figured out that their main audience is people that don't have a college education and they're looking to immigrate and they're learning a new language or whatever it might be, right? So I'm just totally making this up. So you want to show how specific these things can get and how useful the insights can be. Whereas I'm looking at this entire page, I can go through the entire website and not know a single thing that they're able to track, right? And that's the main problem. And also, this video is like very useless. Totally useless. If you look at this, it just says you can make decisions, you can track things, like literally just buzzwords throughout, right? Whereas I think this is probably an amazing product if these huge companies use it. They have millions of users, every single one of these companies, so they must have a lot of insights to track. Also, this series is quite good, but they need to focus. It would rather be better if they had case studies on their own clients and customers, so they can show what are the insights they can track, how useful it was, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind at all if they kind of framed it right and didn't use like too much confidential info and all that stuff, right? Plus all the security concerns that they may have around tracking the stuff and compliance stuff that all these big companies need to apply to, otherwise they cannot buy the product in the first place, right? So literally tons of objections that could prevent people from buying this in the first place, right? So this is what not to do with an AI landing page when you need to answer these questions instead, right? So if you like this video and you're wondering how you can use messaging to improve your own conversions, go to cortez.design/apply and book your free strategy session here. Basically what that is, we'll jump on a quick intro call, kind of figure out if I can help you in the first place, get to learn a little bit more about your business. And in case we're a good fit, we'll just book another call to figure out, okay, what are the tweaks we need to make? How can we squeeze a few 100 or 200 or 300K extra out of the traffic you already have? How can we squeeze 20 or 30% more demos out of the traffic you already have? Whatever it might be, we want to figure out what your goal is and how much we can squeeze out of the traffic you already have, out of the momentum you already built, right? So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about this landing page in the video in the comments, and hopefully see you on the call soon. Cheers.